your name?
Sure. My name is Chaplain Norm Powers.
And how long have you been a police chaplain?
I've been here for about 9 years now.
9 years?
Yeah, 10 years next year.
What were you doing before this?
I actually was in management with a service company for 32 years.
Okay. Is this more satisfying, or I mean, is this what?
Oh, by far. Anytime you have a chance to serve someone and step outside yourself, it's always a privilege to put others before yourself. And that's what we do, is try to serve others. So.
Would the people who worked for you for 30 years be surprised, or would they think that was just a natural progression?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they'd be surprised, only because I enjoy it. It's part of what I believe and how I live my life. I try to. Of course, we're not perfect, but for the most part, I try to serve them as much as I was able to as a manager as well.
When you were thinking about getting into police chaplaincy, were there any things like I can do that, I can do this, I can do that, but I'm not so sure about? Were there any parts of it where you were like, I just dread if that happens? Or?
Well, I didn't know what to expect. I came in trying to help kids. That was my initial entrance, was because they were having a school program that I really appreciated, because having kids make good choices is important to me. After raising 3 kids and coaching baseball for 25 years, I saw a lot of pain, a lot of hurting, a lot of kids go the wrong way. And my whole intent coming here was to try to help them make better choices. As my work schedule changed, Chaplain Mindy asked if I'd be interested in getting into law enforcement chaplaincy, which I hadn't considered before. Then as I got to know more and more about the culture and the individuals and the type of pain they experienced, it was a whole new revelation to my being a chaplain. And it opened different doors. So there wasn't something that I didn't know I could do or not, because I didn't know what to expect. It was all new.
Yeah.
So I haven't really run into that yet. It's been a learning experience, and I think it will continue to be.
Tell me a little bit about Mindy. What is it that makes her tick? Describe her to me if I didn't know her.
You could say Mindy is a visionary. She has a lot of ideas, and it's constantly evolving. She has a lot of things going through her mind while she's doing 5 other things at the same time. So she is a person of great energy, and it's contagious. She gets people to kind of learn to accept that energy from her and run with it. She demands a lot from her staff. I'm actually the supervisor for the law enforcement side. And so she expects a lot from us, but she should. And that's when you look at Mindy or talk about Mindy with those in leadership, they'll tell you that she has a lot of expectations, and she has a lot of ideas about, we'll think, wow, I don't know about that. That sounds like it's a little bit too much. But yet that's what she wants to do, and she has plans. She's a visionary. And that's what you think about when you think of Mindy.
Is this something that you're going to, you see doing for the rest of your life?
Oh yeah, I love what I do. Yeah, I enjoy it. A lot different from the stress I experienced as a manager and in the world. Is a whole different mentality and looking at the difficulties that a lot of our law enforcement officers face every day, especially now. There's quite a need for someone who can go to them impartially and be able to address them with care and affection, whereas they're not hearing that on a normal basis. So it's a privilege. So I do see myself doing this for as long as I'm able to.
What was the toughest call you've been on?
Unfortunately, it was Bobby French. Bobby French recently died in August. He was someone we all knew, well, I should say many of us knew very well. That was one of the toughest calls that I've ever had to do in business or as a chaplain. Having him die was tough, and we've had other officers die too, and it's never easy. But when you know an individual, it hits a little closer to home, and that was very tough for many of us.
Any advice that you would give to young people about going into police chaplaincy?
I would say make sure the reasons are sound, your reasons for doing it. It's not one that is to satisfy a desire to either be close to a cop, become a cop, pretend. We have to really check inside to see what our motivation is for doing it. If it's truly to help an individual who is used to having a certain bubble around them, because they do, it's a culture that they live in, and a kind of a protective circle. If you're able to sustain yourself and to really try to get close to them, even though you may be pushed away a few times, it's worth it. And so you just have to know what your motivation is. And that motivation really needs to be one of caring for officers and law enforcement, and able to be headstrong enough not to give up. Continue to do what you do. If you say you're going to do it, just do it, and there'll be a reward for that because of the response you get from those officers once you finally do get through that bubble. It's very rewarding.
Thank you. Thank you very much.